All right. I think we are live. What's happening, guys? Don't have any camera equipment up here, but still in Maine doing the 96th birthday party. Been cutting firewood, been super busy. Don't have any camera equipment, so my only way to make a video really right now is to do a live or just record it from the computer. But the purpose of this one is just to respond to a bunch of questions. I don't really have time, nor do I have service to respond to everybody's email, blog comments, YouTube comments, and all that. So really, I'm just going to stuff a few things in this video, and then I'll leave it up for replay. And then when I get back to Florida next week, I'll be able to shoot the update videos. And the biggest thing to talk about today is the DIY sauna guide. The DIY sauna project is having problems. It's very effective. It makes you sweat good. My cousin helped me do the filming. We've got pretty much everything that we needed to work out, except for one issue, is pretty much finished. The clamp lights themselves are absolutely terrible. I've worked out a better mounting system that requires, like a few extra nuts and bolts, but it's all easy stuff that you can get from Amazon. The problem that we were having is the electric fields are a little higher than I'd like. So I think I have a way to lower those and to make it work better, but I'm just not 100% sure. I've ordered some prototype fixtures to try and do a retrofit and get that to perform better, and they have shipped, but I'm not in Florida and they haven't arrived yet. So as soon as that stuff is ready, I'm going to do another iteration. I think we're on like beta 11 now with the infrared sauna tent. The only thing that I'm concerned about is making it easy for the people that want to build something like this to be able to buy all of the parts. And so it's one thing if I can find an industrial supplier, that will sell me 100 of them, but I really don't want to be the guy that is reselling this stuff. I don't really want to do shipping and all that. So trying to figure out a solution to make the DIY sauna the best that it can possibly be. It's pretty good right now. But people keep asking about portable sauna recommendations. Is there a portable sauna that I recommend? A lot of folks have asked about I call it a cadaver bag, but there's a higher dose infrared sauna blanket. It actually arrived right before I caught a flight to Maine, and it's just sitting there waiting for me to unbox it and test it. There's just a lot of things going on right now, and I'm not there. The only person that can really do it is me. So that'll also be on the to-do list when I get back. But for folks asking about portable sauna recommendations, or for the people that still can't afford a stand-up wooden sauna, the DIY sauna guide or the DIY sauna stuff, videos, tutorials, all these things, they are still coming, but I think that we can improve it even more. So if it's a case of like putting it out there and it's sort of good, I think it's worth the wait if we can make it really, really good. And it doesn't really cost any extra. So it's just the time and figuring things out. A lot of the issue is anytime you're trying to source stuff and make it readily available for people all around the country, and obviously we're trying to make it so that people can build them with no tools, which is extremely, extremely challenging. Because sometimes we run into something, right? Like you're inside the tent and the clamp light's giving you hell. And it's like, well, I could just run down to the garage and drill a hole in this piece and then bolt it together and it would work great. But for, for Sally in Nebraska or wherever that doesn't have a lot of money and is trying to make one of these things, doesn't have a lot of technical experience, doesn't have tools, blah, blah, blah. You guys know the drill. It's pretty difficult to just say, hey, go in the wood shop and, cut out a piece like this and sand it down and then drill a hole in the metal pole and then attach it with a bolt. And then, it just doesn't work that well. So for those people, they would kind of be stuck in a pickle. And the whole reason to do this is to make this available to people who are really in need so that it's not very expensive, a couple $100. You can't really even get a portable sauna that works super good, at least not this good, for a couple $100. So it's really just filling a gap there. And then for other people, like for me personally, this is not something that I'm going to build and use myself. I mean, for people that buy a far infrared or stand-up wooden sauna, or somebody that wants, that type of thing in their home, this isn't even appealing to them. So it's kind of just, I don't know. It's hard. it's really difficult to put this much time into something when there are there are other solutions that already exist, and it's stuff that I use every day. They're just very expensive. But we're gonna keep trucking along. The other thing that people have been asking about is the portable sauna showdown. Yes, it's still happening, but the DIY sauna has to be complete in order to do that. Because what we're gonna do is we've got there's like 3 or 4 categories. So it's gonna be sauna tents, right? Like the little things that you get in and zip up, like looks like you're in a tuxedo. It's going to be the cadaver bag, which I have no idea what to expect. My expectations of that are going to be, or my pre-existing thoughts on that is, if I don't see how they could possibly have the EMF low enough to match the other categories, because the bag and the emitters are so close to you. So that's one issue, but maybe they've done a good job. I don't know. It doesn't really make a difference one way or the other. I want to test it anyway, so that's waiting. And then we've got the DIY, we get the bags, we get the tents, and then there's what's the other thing? There's the tent and oh yeah, you've got like the cloth thing, like the sauna fix or the sauna space or whatever those things are. It's like $3,000, supposed to be portable. I can't believe how big it is though. Wait till you guys see this. It's gonna be hilarious. So we've got those categories, and then I think there's 7 brands. So we've got the cheap Amazon brand. I've gone over this stuff over and over and over, but people keep sending emails saying, hey, what about this one? Hey, what about that one? So whenever I make these videos, I try to mention every single thing so I don't have to answer so many questions. But we've got the cheap Amazon stuff. We've got the mid-grade Amazon stuff. We've got things like the Therasage and the Relax. We've got the really expensive, like this Sauna Fix or Sauna Space. Then we've got the DIY thing. And then I've got that homegrown thing. People can't really buy that. I was thinking about making that for a little while out of wood to get people away from the like everyone complains about the VOCs and the tent and blah blah blah. But I think the pros outweigh the cons. So if you're in this boat and you're looking for a portable sauna, you're just going to have to deal with a little bit of VOCs or off gassing from the tent. It's just the nature of the beast. But what is this? The main issue though with the DIY thing is really just trying to fine tune everything and make sure that it's good to go, and waiting for those prototype fixtures to come in. I think that'll kind of be a game changer. There's a couple of things that can be done to make it really good, but they require customization. So me trying to source that's pre-made has been the huge bottleneck. It's not that it's hard or it takes a long time to actually make it. I mean, we can set a brand new one of these things up and film it in just one day. So setting it up is maybe 45 minutes, and then filming it is maybe 6-7 hours. So it's not that difficult. It's just every time we change something, I'll get to you in just a second. How do we say your name? Dibjeet? Every time we change something, the stuff that has been filmed prior is no longer available. Or not available, but it's no longer useful. So that's an issue. So now I'm not doing any filming until we get it completely dialed in. So that's the main bottleneck, and it all falls on me. Just wanted to do an update. Okay, hey Matt, do you think it's worth paying an extra $500 to go with Clearlight Premier instead of Radiant Health Elite? No, not really, unless there's something that it does for you that the other one doesn't do. But the Premier and the like an IS1 or IS2 is a spitting image of an E2H or an E1H. They're probably the closest brother and sister far infrared saunas that you could ever have. I think the only thing that Clearlight came out with that Radiant Health doesn't have this year, I think, is if you want to add another heater or something to the back of the glass. I think it's pre-wired for that. I could be wrong. You'd have to ask David at Healovations. He could tell you. He's my go-to guy for all the Clearlight stuff. But no, I mean, you would be fine with either one. If it's cheaper, I would say go with what I would do personally is go with the cheaper one and take that money and get another piece of health equipment, and rather than invest more in the sauna. But that's just me. If there's something else that is important to you, tell me, and maybe that could change the decision. Let's see. What are the other questions? So this lady This lady was kind of asking the same thing. I'm sort of lumping these in. I'm not going to have time to go through questions. I'm just paraphrasing. She wanted to know, is there a portable sauna on the market that I recommend right now or that I would use? And this is the same conundrum that hasn't been answered for the last 6 months. And so none of the portable saunas are like A grade. None of the saunas are as good as the wooden saunas that you see on the portable sauna list. That's why we're trying to do the DIY sauna, because I think we can make it better for less money. You just have to order the parts and assemble it yourself than most of the portable saunas. I think I'm trying. It's very difficult. Debjit, do I know whether they break easily? The reviews are terrible for most companies. What are you talking about specifically, Debjit? Do you know whether they break easily? The reviews are terrible for most companies because of that. Does what break? The saunas themselves? No. If you're talking about the Clearlight Premier or the Radiant Health Elite, those are some of the most bulletproof ones that you can get because the control panel is very basic. There's not, they don't have fancy LCD screens like some of the higher end ones. Those can go out because they're in a hot box. So if you stuck your TV in a sauna, how long do you think it would work? Just kind of like a funny analogy. If you're talking about something, I mean, the only other times that saunas really break like this is if you use them in a commercial application and they get beat to hell. The heaters and components break. Maybe they're just the odd ones. Yeah, but the heaters and components break on what? What brand are you talking about? I mean, are you talking about like something at a health spa where people are using it for 12 hours a day? Or I don't know what you mean. If you can get more specific, though, I can probably, for Clearlight and Sunlighten. Well, yeah, I mean, if that's the hard part is you have a Clearlight Premier and then you have a Clearlight Sanctuary. You also have a Sunlighten Signature and a Sunlighten Impulse. Sunlighten Impulse being the flagship out of all four. There's an LCD screen in there. There's fancy heater controllers that are computer controlled in there, which means it cycles through modes and blah, blah, blah. And if one of those things stops working, it takes the whole sauna down. So yeah, I mean, stuff like that does happen with those, but not for the models that you're asking about buying. So just because a particular brand might have a problem with gadgets, in a higher end model, doesn't mean that the heaters and stuff go out on the more streamlined models like the ones that I recommend. And that's one of the reasons why you don't see stuff like that on the certified sauna list, is because, for one thing, I don't think the sweat or the health improvements are that much better for the ones that are $3,000 more. Like you can get a $3,500, $3,800 sauna and you get all the benefits that you need versus a $6,500 or $6,800 sauna. And it might have more gadgets. It might have a fancy screen. It might have near, mid, and far infrared or be full spectrum or blah, blah, blah. But the benefits from that are negligible. So if you're a person that has an unlimited budget, or you just like fancy stuff, or you like gadgets, hey, great. But if you're in that position, you probably don't care if the screen breaks. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's not me. That's not really my personality. I would prefer to spend $2,000 or $3,000 less on a sauna, get 95% of the same benefits. If you didn't catch that, pay attention. And then take the other $3,000 and buy other stuff that could be beneficial, like a vibration plate. And it's my fault I haven't produced the videos on that. I've been using vibration plate for 2.5 years now. Still haven't made a single video on it. Also, the PBMT stuff is worth it. Yeah, I mean, if you just go to certifiedsaunas.com and then don't even look at the saunas and stuff that are listed at the top, there should be a couple of videos embedded in the bottom, or there's a link next to each sauna that has a playlist. Go to that playlist on YouTube, Debjit, and watch the video that is like discussing the brand that you're asking, and then look at the competing one, and you can see that there's not a huge difference. It's really, you'd be fine with either one. So let me see. It's almost noon. I've got to go at noon. It's 11:55. There was a few more things to go through here, but yeah. By the way, Sunlighten rep was telling me you're a paid spokesperson, not to trust anything you or the other brands say. Sure. The only sauna that could do anyone any good on the planet is a Sunlighten, right? I'm not going to refute that. You can take it however you want. But it's pretty funny, though. Inches from the wall. Carmen says, does Radiant Health sauna have to be inches from the wall? Does the one person sauna have a front heater? I don't know what you mean by inches from the wall. If you're talking about in the back where you shove it up against the wall, Carmen, no, you don't have to have any particular amount of space, just enough. If the outlet is back there, obviously you can't crimp the cord. The one person saunas, almost all of them do not have a front heater because there's just no space. The sauna is just as wide as the glass door, right? And so there's no room. However, because it's so narrow, the side heaters kind of extend towards the front and the infrared wraps around a little bit. It's not that big of a deal. Sunlighten basically harassed me with hone alls. I don't know what hone alls is for months and telling me that many times to stop. Yeah, actually, I would probably Jody, phone calls. Okay, autocorrect. Yeah, I mean, that's what happened to me in 2017 when I was trying to buy my first sauna, because I was going to a float tank place and I was paying $40 a session to use a Sunlighten Impulse, which is like their fanciest, best sauna. And this was before I knew anything about EMF and all that stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I was just going to buy a Sunlighten Impulse because that's what I was using and I had okay results with it. So I was like, well, I'll just buy this. And then I got the price, and then they got me into their CRM and they would never stop calling me, and they just, harassed the hell out of me, and it was ridiculous. And then 2 years later, when I started getting more into this stuff and testing products and making recommendations, I cannot recommend a company that treats customers that way because it reflects badly on me. People have a bad experience. And to top it off, the products aren't as good because the EMF levels are off the charts, even though they say that it's low EMF. It's not that I'm a paid spokesperson like Debjit was saying. It's just I don't know how I'm going to leave this up for replay, so I'm not really sure what I want to say here, but there is a reason why the Dave Asprey contract and recommendations for Sunlighten saunas will likely change in the next year or two. Sunlighten as a company, I'll just say it this way. Their company culture and the things that they're focused on in their product development are not in alignment with what I like or what I need or what I want as a customer. They're not in alignment with the testing and the ranking and rating of saunas for the certified sauna list. And that's the deal. That doesn't mean that it won't change someday. Maybe they'll improve the products, but I mean, when you treat people like shit, it's kind of hard to ignore. But this happens every single day. Just so you guys know, this isn't for any single one of you, but for everybody. Every single day, there's a Sunlighten sauna rep at the call center that says that you shouldn't listen to what I say, and they have all kinds of stuff. They say that the Sunlighten infrared emitters, like the heaters in the sauna, are the only ones that have 99% emissivity, and they're the only ones that operate at whatever micron range they're touting this month. The interesting thing about that, and the way that you can tell right away that whoever is trying to sell you this stuff has no idea what they're talking about, is that micron range changes with temperature. So if you had a sauna that only operates at one single micron range, that means that the sauna can only operate at a single temperature. Because if you have any variance in temperature, the micron range changes. So like some of this stuff doesn't even make sense. Jody says, Radiant Health 3-person, I love it. Awesome, Jody. I'm happy. The customer service was excellent. That's what I like to hear. I like to make sure that people are well taken care of, doesn't reflect badly on me, and then I don't have to deal with a lot of emails or phone calls about people having bad experiences. We're running over on time here, guys. Got to run. I will try to do another update video. Didn't hit all the points that I was supposed to here, but hopefully that will suffice for not being able to respond to the personal emails about the portable and the DIY stuff. Hope you guys are doing well. I got to go cut some firewood with the grandfather. I said, what do you want to do for your birthday? He's like, well, we got to put a couple of beers in the truck. We got to go out in the woods and get some firewood. I'm like, okay, here we go. So I hope you guys are doing great, and we'll talk to you next week. Have a great day.